take the documents from Max or Ampere principles and Penton vector and other people with the electromagnetic field equations to put it together and bridge the gap to show the quantum mechanics how it enters wave propagation. That gives you what they are doing right now.
Can we go over it right now, brother?
Doing. So that means literally there's no perpetual motion, like there's no perpetual energy device, but they figure that there's some energy within the wavelength.
I don't want to go to somebody who's sitting there telling me because you went to school that denounces what I'm going to listen to you. What? Are you crazy? I want somebody that studied this. I want the brother who up here who had the paper, whatever your name is, no disrespect, but whoever.
People have perspective. Why don't we test the perspective? Stover have tested his perspective. It works. Everybody saw it.
I can't stand on that, brother. I tested it and it didn't work.
So I don't know how to explain that to you if it didn't work.
No. It's not your job to explain it to me how it didn't work. I can show you how it doesn't work. That's the teaching part. He's not doing that.
I'm open to that.
Let me answer this
question. He can use his videos of his measurements
right now
himself with it.
By him saying he tested my work and it didn't work is a way to put this cat back into the box. But I'm telling the gentleman, go directly to the video that the host put out and see if you can just take a single LED light and light it with a crystal radio. That's what we were talking about on this show. Okay.
Did you do it?
Leave the MOSFET.
Did you do it?
All that out. Leave all that out and just simply just go and see if you can light the LED light. That means that you're actually getting usable electricity. Now,
I want to be respectful. Who's the guy? Who's the guy was talking to? The gentleman in the middle.
Two different radios with two different LED lights and connect them together. Once you do that, the whole world now proves that you can do this. And you have
here's the problem, brother. Here's the problem, brother. The guy in the middle. The guy in the middle. Can I know your name, sir?
Negate everything he's saying right now.
Just Lloyd. Let me read one or two comments. But identity, your name is Identity Withheld. I think you're the guy who was arguing with Lloyd in the video, sir.
It was him. Yes, his voice.
I am the one that he was talking to on the video. Yes.
I saw your comment today.
This is the guy who attacked me.
Now watch the video and understand. I was told that I should have been a little more harsh with Lloyd, because typically I actually teach a little more harsh when people get really excited about things they're saying and they're saying it absolutely wrong. But I was being patient with Lloyd. I didn't disrespect Lloyd. I tried to talk to him with I'm going to respect everything you said and take it back into my lab and see if I can replicate what you're talking about. It does not work. And I wanted to show him, dude, this is why it doesn't work. I can show you with your own videos. I can show you where you made a flaw. He doesn't want to hear it.
Identity withheld. I think his concept of now is different from the other one. We will explain it. Just a minute.
I can't understand. What did you say? Stop talking because I can't understand him.
We have somebody called Eddie Cliff Daba. You're saying that you are unable to talk. What are you saying? You've joined the stream. You're saying that you have a problem with Eddie. You can be able to type if you have an issue. And also we have I am nobody in the chat. I don't know if you can be able to talk. You can
No. I couldn't hear you because Lloyd was talking.
Oh. No, I was saying that we have somebody in the chat. I don't know if you can be able to talk. It's called Eddie Cliff Daba. He's also one of the most critical of Lloyd. Eddie?
Yeah, I have no problem having this conversation. I don't like being disingenuous and telling people something exists and you don't even try it yourself. He's talking about crystal circuits he never did himself. He's talking about someone else's video. He didn't even do the experiment. So why are we listening to you, brother?
You just lied. You
let me read.
just lied.
Where
You
Let me
just
read a
told
few
a
comments.
big fat lie.
I saw your video,
Okay?
bro. You put somebody else's
I don't
video
care
in
if you
yours.
see one of my
Lloyd,
videos. The whole
just a
simple
minute.
fact is you just lied.
Just a
Tell me where
minute.
I lied, bro. Tell me where I lied.
Just a minute. Just a minute. We have we have Gerald is back and saying that radio waves light LEDs, and the LEDs light the solar panels. The voltage from the solar goes through MOSFETs. Gerald, you had said that you are going to show us how your setup works. I hope you do. You said Sunday. I hope you do. You can be able to prove identity withheld wrong if it works. Yeah? Then you have Cecile saying that the fastest way to become rich is talking about criticizing Maxwell. We have somebody saying that AI is like a ruler, perfect measurements. I see. Anyways, you guys can go on. We have Eddie. Eddie, can you come in before the two go on arguing? Can you be able to come in, Eddie?
I don't want to argue. I apologize to the panel and to the host. I didn't come up here to argue. It's just I get really rattled when it's like disingenuous information being put out. This is a
Uh,
space that's very, very specific that I'm in, and I practice actually teaching young black boys and girls that's the importance of how STEM can change a generation. And I'm trying to pretty much get the young minds into even following this stuff. And then
so,
he's out here telling people that free energy. Oh,
so
nah, dude, why are you lying to
I'm
these
online, but
people?
I
identity,
cannot get any of you. I can't
identity,
get
wi-
what you're saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
identity withheld. We have somebody saying that if you tried to do Lloyd's experiment and it failed, that can you please be able to show it like while doing it?
I can show you mathematically first. I would have to put a video together to do it, but I can actually use Lloyd's video to debunk himself.
Nope. Don't do that. We want to see you
Please,
do it
wait a minute.
personally.
Wait a minute. So I can't use your video to debunk you?
No, you can't.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Then
say
Oh my
why.
God.
Because let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
First of all, you got on here and you just stated Lloyd never did the crystal radio.
The
I
video
never did
you
the
showed,
experiment.
the video
I
you
do
you
so many.
broadcast is not yours,
So
brother.
the whole point was is I wanted to show how many people have done this experiment. Okay,
Yeah.
that was
Okay.
the
Go
whole
ahead.
point of using it. So when you're taking a part of my argument and you're exacerbating it into something to fit your narrative. So
Bro.
yes, you do the
Hey,
experiment and
yo,
show
look.
everybody that it
Put the link
doesn't
in the
work.
chat. Put the link in the chat to where you actually do the experiment. I'll watch it.
So let's look at the science of why these things work. Okay, there's no free energy, but these brothers discovered there's some sort of force that's doing work in the spectrum. That's what they discovered. Let's not think that they come up there behind. These have truth in it. There are people before them. These people ingeniously put these things together. So we should respect them. Stop talking all this systemic system. Don't you know that science is biased? The one they teach you at school is biased. Don't you know that? Even
Why?
engineering,
Why? How is it
don't you know
biased
it's
when I actually
biased?
know? I know about what
I'm
he
not
thinks
here to
he's
argue
talking
that.
about.
You a smart person.
Again,
I have this
again. No,
documented.
no,
Go read
wait.
it.
Hold on.
I can
You
teach
just
you. You
asked
can do
me. You
whatever you
asked
want with
me,
it.
do I know? I'm answering your question. You asked me, do I know if the
I'm not
science
gonna
is
argue.
biased?
Nope. I'm
That's
not here
what I'm
to
not
argue.
arguing, brother. I'm not arguing. I'm answering your question. I am answering your question. You asked me, do I know if the science is biased?
I'm with
How do
Stover
I
all
answer
day.
that?
I'm with
How do
Stover
I
and
answer
Maxwell
that?
all day.
Telling you that same science taught me this low energy that he keeps saying is important is useless. I
They
know
never
about that
taught you that.
energy.
They never taught you that. We trying to
Whoa, whoa,
reeducate you
whoa,
about
whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa. How you gonna tell me what I was
Nowhere
taught,
they teach
brother?
you that.
wait,
Not in
How you
wait,
gonna
Harvard,
tell me what I
not
was
in
taught?
Stanford, not in
wait first.
Oxford. It doesn't
He
exist.
said I
A
wasn't taught. He said I
campus
wasn't taught.
will
He
never
said I
teach
wasn't
you
That
taught.
that. That's why you don't
Eddie,
He's a
understand
very
Stovo. But I
each
have the
one take,
science, the kind of
each one
science
take,
that you do. I understand it. I wrote this paper
each one
for
take,
you. I
each
wrote
one take.
this paper for you.
I don't want to unmute you. Each one take.
Oh,
Uh
sorry. Don't unmute me. I'm with
yeah,
Stovo. They're trying to do something. They're trying to bring a signal to people that have
Wait
ingenuity.
first.
Said I can go through the math with you, brother. I can go through every step with you.
Identity, wait.
Novel and Maxwell done that scientific interpretation to people that went to today's school and their system. Even their scientists taught what they are doing. Because
Okay.
they're the ones that are doing it, people want to discredit them. And I say no to that. I use scientific knowledge and understanding of the precedents that's in place
Just
to bring quantum mechanism to wave propagation together. That's the
just a
equation
minute.
at the beginning.
I think you join in later. You can continue each one take what you are talking about here.
So what I'm trying to say is Stovall is on point. He has the scientific the technological understanding, no problem. Now, when you talk to these people that went to all these schools in specific countries in the world, they don't understand this. What I did in this scientific paper is to take the documents from Max or Ampere principles and Penton vector and other people with the electromagnetic field equations to put it together and bridge the gap to show the quantum mechanics how it enters wave propagation. That gives you what they're doing right now.
Can we go over it right now, brother?
Doing. So that means literally there's no perpetual motion, like there's no perpetual energy device, but they figure that there's some energy within the wavelength, action per wavelength. There's energy there. That's what they're tapping, whether it's electromagnetic, whether it's radio frequency, whether it's whether it's you name it, anything they can propagate through the space, orthogonal from magnetic to electric field, they can tap energy from it. That's the equation here to show that. And you can now
That's what I was taught at my university, brother. We're the same.
You can still patent their technology is patentable now based on the work that I've done here.
You said which equation?
Purposefully for them. I'm not hiding it. I'm not making money from it. I did it purposefully to show that, like Stovall said, this is an old thing. I said, okay, let me use his premises to do findings for myself. I came to figure out he was right, and I introduced the constants, the T constants, which is Hc. Okay, which is Hc. So a pure energy will travel at that speed regardless. But if it's of course, in a vacuum, but if it's in a media, it will have a refractive index of that media that changes the speed. So the equation is proven. The constants, if you want to test it, you have a big lab, take the equation, go to test it, you get the T. You're going to get the T.
I actually trust the math. So if you can actually post that, I would love to look at it.
Of course, I'll send it to you, and I'd like to talk to you offline if we can.
We've put it on the screen. You're talking about which equation or the entire?
So this is the equation. This equation here at the very beginning has the Maxwell painting vector is in it. Okay, which painting vector is pointing to the flux, surface area flux, that it should be equal to the vector of electric field and magnetic field. It's in here. So with this equation, you can calculate the energy that's in any wavelength, action per meter, just like Planck constants, joule second. This one is joule meter. So Planck says that there's a constant that is acting joule in every second, right? In like joule second. But I reversed that in corollary, and I found out that the same thing exists joule meter.
Okay, so what are your XYZ? Is that dimensions? Dx, dy, dz?
Yeah, that's distribution factor. The gxy is the distribution factor. Then you can make it into any volume you like. You can make it into any volume that you like. So you can calculate the volume, the delta, energy delta within a region. So for them that are developing all this technology, they can now use the amplitude of the wavelength as it changes when the impulse comes in and goes out to determine those values, which is very good in the kind of science that they're doing.
Is that a double or triple integral?
That's a double integral, correct?
Well, you have three arguments, X, Y, Z. That's why I'm asking. You have it
You are
set up as a
correct.
double integral, but it's a triple integral.
GXY. Well, the reason why it's a triple integral because you got to do the last one. So there's a region of space which should be identified on the second one. So
Okay.
Caleb, you're asking about posting the documents. What do you mean? Do you have is there like a link where people can be able to get to the document?
of course I can post it for you guys. I can send you like a Google link, stuff like that. You can have it. No big deal. It doesn't mean anything to me. I'm just trying to show that scientifically, from physics perspective, that they are correct. What they are doing is correct. They're imposing a wavelength. They're making a wavelength go through a constraint. If it goes through a constraint, it produces another wavelength. That wavelength, the power generated, there's an inverse square rule that relationship with the energy is inverse square rule, which is in compliant with Maxwell, in compliant with Paton vector, in compliant with any of the scientists that's out there. So at the end of the day, the equation is this with the T, which is a constant, fundamental constant.
What are the frequency constraints?
That you're gonna have to find out.
How about we ask Lloyd?
He asked for the paper. He didn't say nothing. He just said, "Give me the paper." He saw it. He knew what it was. He didn't say nothing.
I
He
just
didn't say
figured he
nothing.
might know.
Now he might know. He knows what the equation is. So he's looking at it
I'm
very
asking what are
carefully.
the frequency restraints? I mean, we're talking about a wide spectrum.
Well, we talk about the pure energy now. Like you can use this in spectral quantum mechanics, photonic calculating, all those kind of. This is not just energy in any place. It has to be in a constrained environment for pure energy, just like Planck's situation with the H, which is a Planck constant. So you can't just say, "Oh, let me calculate the energy in this room." It doesn't work like that. It has to
Hey,
be in that
what is pure energy?
huh?
What is pure energy? I don't know what that is. The difference between energy and pure energy.
So what I mean by pure energy is the kind of energy you can see when, let's say, electron jumps from one,
Electron
yeah,
conduction band.
jumps. It gives this kind of photons. That's what I mean by pure energy.
That's a photon. An
And what is
How
electron
about
getting
energy
excited,
that doesn't have
what is a
carrier
photon?
wave?
electron losing energy and dropping to a lower conduction band. That is a photon.
Nobody's
How
nobody
about
has
energy
argued
that
that it's
doesn't
not
have
a
carrier
photon.
wave?
I didn't
Nobody's
hear. I'm
arguing
sorry.
that nobody's arguing that it's not a photon. But what we're saying is there's also equivalent of the photon when it comes to electron volts. And that's how you get your electricity. Because the people before us already said it. When a magnetic field, when a current goes through a wire, it produces a magnetic field. When magnetic field moves around, have a motion, it produces electricity. So when the photon moves out, electron goes in the other direction. That's how your chips work. So I noticed that. That's why I wrote this paper. I'm not here to argue science, technology. I understand it very well.
Doesn't matter whether you learned it on your couch or in the
Oh,
university.
I see what you mean. Okay, let me rephrase the word. There's nothing wrong with going to a university, but there's everything wrong when someone tells you there's a particular way to apply something. That's wrong. And that's why I support Stovall. Teach me your math and science. Don't tell me how to apply it. If it works, it works. That's all.
So that's where my contention came in, is because I am confident he doesn't know. And that's no disrespect. I'm just saying, based on what I hear him say and how he actually presents his information, he has no clue, because he can't even tell me, like, the when he says things like amplifying current. What are you talking about? I know MOSFETs. That's not what that's doing. Mathematically, that's not what it's doing. Physically, that's not what it's doing. And if you actually design them from scratch, you will know it's not what you said it's doing. It's not amplifying current.
Okay,
So that's misleading.
Yep.
That's very misleading to me. And it tells me you don't know how MOSFETs work.
We have this question. I don't know, Eddie, are you able to hear us or still not available? If not it, I can remove somebody from the screen and put him in the background, then I'll rejoin them. It will work. We have this question coming that ask Lloyd to compare the MOSFET to the points on a car feeding an ignition coil. The ignition coil is like the Tesla coil, a transformer that creates a magnetic field. When the field is what? There's somebody who was trying to join but he was unable to. So he's saying that I ask you, Lloyd, to compare the MOSFETs to the points on a car feeding on an ignition coil.
I believe if you just go to my YouTube channel, I let them who run the car audio explain that. Okay. The reason why I let them do that, because we have people who saying how I say things is so wrong, but I say things for the common person to understand. I do these demonstrations for the common person to understand. When when you put these equations out, what you're trying to do is exclude everybody who does not went to college or can't afford college. You're trying to exclude them so they can't understand. My opinion, this is my opinion. I believe that he's upset because he had to pay for college and that I explain it free for everyone else and bring it down to their level. He's upset that I'm giving out something he had to pay for. And I've experienced this through my life. Or why are you explaining it this way? It may be incorrect how I'm explaining it because they're for visual points. Therefore, getting the common man to understand how these things functions and then bring them and elevate them up so they are interested in going in college and doing it the correct way. So that is my point. I'm a librarian, which I've told him and said many times. I'm just explaining the knowledge in these basics experiments. So all I ask is a simple question. If you can take a 3-volt LED light which has milliwatts to run, can you hook them together? And if can you put enough of them together to you make usable energy? If you can do this and people can do that simple experiment, what happened is self-explanatory. I can get out of the question, move on, because what happened is that I did what I accomplished to get people to see what Nikolai Tesla was putting out in the first place. That's all. Now, people are upset because I did that. I'm glad that they're upset that I did that. Because guess what? The whole point was to inspire people to go out and do it, to get these little small radios, to actually build these radios. They're not complicated. They're 100 years old themselves. So the whole point is, can this crystal radio do the exact same thing as a solar panel? One takes light, the other one takes radio wave. They both use the spectrum of electromagnetic waves. Okay? It's in the same spectrum. Radio and lights is in the same spectrum. It's on the same line. So what we're doing is we're taking that energy and transferring back into electricity. Now, all I ask is, can we miniaturize that and turn that into a solid state battery? So when I did this, you see that people was like, why are you doing this? That's not the point. The point is to explain it to the common person so that even the 5-year-old can understand what we did, not the mathematics or trying to prove or not. Now, if he says that I can't take and light up an LED with a crystal radio, or I haven't done it, then it's up to you guys to prove that you can. That's the point.
So real quick, because you kind of took a shot at me with the whole education thing. So just so
Yeah,
you know, I
but
am
before
a magna cum laude
before it comes
electrical
in, before it comes
engineer
in,
in the
before it
space of
comes
physics.
Before
So
coming,
I am not a layman, brother, and I told you I'm not saying this to flex. I'm saying this to inspire. You don't have to sit on your couch and try to guess it. You can actually study this stuff. What you're talking about is old technology. There's nothing special about it. We've known this stuff for ages. You are
No, not everyone.
way behind on the curve, brother. Hold on, I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. You are way behind on the technological curve, brother. If you're talking about 100-year-old technology that you admitted is that old, I'm saying you're not talking to a layman right now. I spent my life studying this stuff, and I would not have somebody like a pharmacist fix my transmission. Why? Because my mechanic knows that stuff. I don't go to my pharmacist for when I need car work. And I don't go to anybody sitting on the couch playing with LEDs when I want to learn about photons and I want to learn about MOSFETs and I want to learn about electromagnetic propagation through a I don't want to go to somebody who's sitting there telling me because you went to school that denounces what I'm going to listen to you. What? Are you crazy? I want somebody that studied this. I want the brother who up here who had the paper, whatever your name is, no disrespect, but whoever he is, I would listen to him. It looks like he did some homework. He did some real research. He actually broke down mathematically. Do you know how hard that is to even understand for some people? And you acting like this is for everyday people? No, that's not for everyday people. That's for people who studied this. What
You
are you
just
trying to
proved
push
my
to the
point.
people?
You just proved my point.
You didn't have a
You don't
point,
even
Lloyd.
realize what you did. You just didn't realize what you did. You just proved my point. That was the
You
very
just tried to
point
shit on
that
me
I
because
just
I
stated.
actually have an education. What is
No,
wrong with you,
it's
bro?
not. You just proved my point. You don't want other people to have what you have because you had to pay for it.
I
That's what I
literally
said.
am giving it away for free, Lloyd. I'm not selling it in a $400 useless book.
Okay. It's not for you
before
to buy.
before you
It's
guys
not for you to buy, is it?
before
You
before
right
you guys
about that.